Hello, my radiant Libra soul. A surprise of good luck is coming. The truth is being revealed. And yes, your $1,000,000 miracle is finally moving toward you. You didn't land here by chance. What you're about to hear was designed for this exact moment in time. Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot, where sacred timing meets deep soul truth. So let me ask you something, have you been feeling it too? That strange pull in your chest. Like something is shifting under the surface? That whisper in your spirit that someone out there is thinking of you, maybe even ready to speak what's been unsaid for far too long? That intuitive knowing that your breakthrough is near, but you're not sure from which door it will arrive? If you've been holding your breath lately, if you've been feeling a change in the wind, this message is for you. Because between December 22nd and 25th, Libra, you're entering what astrologers call a golden portal of divine flow. Venus, your ruling planet, is harmoniously aligning with Jupiter, the planet of expansion and reward. This cosmic alignment only happens when the universe is ready to bless you in ways that exceed your imagination. And what the tarot has revealed today is nothing short of life-changing. Ace of Pentacles, Page of Cups, the High Priestess. These three cards aren't just symbols, they are a personal roadmap. One of abundance. One of emotional truth. One of intuitive clarity. This isn't just about money. It's about healing. It's about remembering who you were before the world taught you to doubt your power. Before silence hurt more than words. Before you began shrinking just to feel safe. Today, I'm here to tell you, you are no longer meant to wait. What's been hidden is ready to be seen. What's been delayed is ready to arrive. And what's been denied is now fully yours to claim. If this message already stirs something within you, don't ignore it. Comment below to affirm your alignment. Write, I'm ready for my $1,000,000 miracle. I choose divine timing. I trust what's mine will find me. Because when you speak your truth, the universe listens louder. Let me take just a moment to say this from the deepest place in my heart. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your presence, for your support, your likes, your comments, and for choosing to walk beside this sacred circle we've created here on Zodiac Whisper Tarot. You are not just a viewer, you are part of this divine family. And Libra, my dear, I promise you today's reading contains something that could very well shift the trajectory of your entire life. But only if you choose to stay present with it. Because what's coming is extraordinary. So breathe with me. Set aside the noise. You've waited long enough. Now tell me, what was it that brought you here today? What intuitive nudge led you to press play? Because I believe it was your higher self calling you into alignment with a miracle that has always belonged to you. Let's begin. There's something undeniably sacred about divine timing, and right now, Libra, you are standing at the edge of one of the most energetically charged windows of your entire year. The alignment between Venus, your ruling planet, and expansive Jupiter doesn't just happen. It unfolds like a doorway opening in slow motion, allowing in the exact circumstances your heart has been quietly praying for, even if your mind hasn't yet dared to name them out loud. We call this rare moment the golden window from December 22nd to 25, not because of superstition, but because energy moves differently when love, Venus, and blessings, Jupiter, harmonize this way. This particular cosmic current doesn't reward control, force, or logic. It responds to softness, to belief, to the quiet certainty that you're worthy of more abundance, more clarity, more grace in the spaces where you felt confusion for too long. In this moment, Libra, life is inviting you to take your hands off the wheel and let the current of trust guide you. It's not about waiting idly, it's about aligning with what you were always meant to receive. When we see the Ace of Pentacles in a spread during such a planetary dance, it isn't simply about money, it's about a new foundation. Something real. Something tangible. It's the kind of opportunity that doesn't ask you to chase it, it lands in your lap when you're in integrity with your worth. It might come through a financial surprise, a career break, a contract, or even a conversation that leads to long-term support. But deeper than the external gain, it's an invitation to feel safe receiving. And that's something many of us struggle with. Now, coupled with the Page of Cups, the message turns personal. This is the messenger who arrives when someone has something on their heart, words unsaid, emotions left unspoken. This could be someone from your past. It could be someone right beside you, whose silence has been louder than speech. But what matters is this: the energy around you is thinning the veil. Vulnerability is rising. And when that happens, people speak. Walls come down. Hearts open. And the High Priestess, she is the quiet voice within you that's been whispering all along. You already know something's coming. You already feel the truth before it is spoken. In a world that often tells us to ignore our inner voice in favor of facts and noise, the High Priestess arrives to remind you that intuition is wisdom. Especially now. Don't ignore it. Don't explain it away. That subtle nudge you've been feeling? That's not random. That's your spirit preparing you. Energetically, this entire alignment mirrors the core principles of what we often call the law of attraction, but in its most sacred and grounded form. You attract not what you beg for, but what you deeply believe you are ready to hold. When Venus and Jupiter form this rare trine, the universe is essentially asking, do you believe you're worthy of receiving what you asked for? Not just intellectually. Not just in words. But in your body, in your energy, in your everyday choices. And I know, in the chaos of daily life, it can be hard to hold on to that belief. We live in a world of noise, of schedules, of headlines and bills and expectations. But the truth is, even in that busyness, grace still finds you. Sometimes through the right person crossing your path. Sometimes through a moment of stillness where your breath slows and your heart says, yes, I'm open now. And sometimes through a message like this. So Libra, don't rush past this window. Let it open. Let the light come in. And when the conversation, the opportunity, or the truth arrives, you won't need to figure out what to do. You'll already know. Because you've been preparing for this moment far longer than you realize. Most of the time, the most life-changing blessings aren't those we chase down. They're the ones that find us when we least expect them, often when we've already surrendered the need to control how or when something will show up. And in this sacred window of time, Libra, that's exactly what's happening. A divine surprise is making its way to you, not because you demanded it, but because you've made room for it by letting go. The energy you're moving through now is not about efforting your way forward. It's about alignment. Openness. Allowing. When the Ace of Pentacles appears, especially under such rare cosmic alignment, it brings the essence of tangible abundance, wealth, opportunities, invitations, breakthroughs. But it rarely arrives in the form you expect. It could be a check you weren't anticipating, a refund, a gift, a bonus, even news of an inheritance or settlement that seems to fall from the sky. Sometimes, it's not cash in hand, but something even more powerful, a door that opens to future prosperity, an offer, a collaboration, an idea so aligned with your soul that it shifts your entire path. The key is, you don't have to chase it. In fact, chasing might push it away. Think of the way birds land gently on an open hand, but only when the hand is still, not grabbing. This is how grace moves. Quietly. Elegantly. It arrives through stillness, readiness, and trust. And in this moment, the universe is gently asking, can you be open enough to say, yes, when it comes? That yes doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't need to be announced. Sometimes, it's whispered in a breathless moment of clarity when you suddenly know, without question, that this is what you were waiting for. Sometimes, it's a quiet nod in your heart that says, this is for me. I receive this. And when you say yes, when you open the door, what's meant for you doesn't just enter. It floods in. In my years of guiding souls through transformation, I've seen again and again how abundance arrives most often not through hustle, but through healing. Through the softening of your spirit. Through the act of letting go of what no longer aligns. There is a kind of wealth that only flows to those who have made peace with the past. Those who have forgiven quietly, cried privately, and kept going with faith even when it looked like nothing was happening. And I want to remind you of something simple, yet powerful. You've already done the hard part. You've endured the uncertainty, the heartbreak, the waiting. You've sown in silence. As one of my favorite spiritual teachings says, those who sow in tears will reap in joy. That is the rhythm of divine timing. And that is exactly what this moment is for. So let yourself receive. Let yourself believe that goodness doesn't have to come at a cost. You don't have to sacrifice your peace or your integrity to gain something valuable. The universe is not testing you. It's rewarding your endurance. And if you've ever needed permission to believe in a miracle, let this be it. And now I ask you, Libra, what are you ready to receive between December 22nd and 25th? What if your life could shift without effort, just by you staying open, grounded, and ready to say yes? Let the world know you're ready. Comment below, may luck find me now. Because when you name your readiness, the energy moves even faster. This isn't just a reading, it's a confirmation. The breakthrough you stopped searching for is finally searching for you. Most of the time, the most life-changing blessings aren't those we chase down. They're the ones that find us when we least expect them, often when we've already surrendered the need to control how or when something will show up. And in this sacred window of time, Libra, that's exactly what's happening. A divine surprise is making its way to you, not because you demanded it, but because you've made room for it by letting go. The energy you're moving through now is not about efforting your way forward. It's about alignment. Openness. Allowing. When the Ace of Pentacles appears, especially under such rare cosmic alignment, it brings the essence of tangible abundance, wealth, opportunities, invitations, breakthroughs. But it rarely arrives in the form you expect. It could be a check you weren't anticipating, a refund, a gift, a bonus, even news of an inheritance or settlement that seems to fall from the sky. Sometimes, it's not cash in hand, but something even more powerful. A door that opens to future prosperity and offer, a collaboration, an idea so aligned with your soul that it shifts your entire path. The key is, you don't have to chase it. In fact, chasing might push it away. Think of the way birds land gently on an open hand, but only when the hand is still, not grabbing. This is how grace moves. Quietly. Elegantly. It arrives through stillness, readiness, and trust. And in this moment, the universe is gently asking, can you be open enough to say, yes, when it comes? That yes doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't need to be announced. Sometimes, it's whispered in a breathless moment of clarity when you suddenly know, without question, that this is what you were waiting for. Sometimes, it's a quiet nod in your heart that says, this is for me. I receive this. And when you say yes, when you open the door, what's meant for you doesn't just enter. It floods in. In my years of guiding souls through transformation, I've seen again and again how abundance arrives most often not through hustle, but through healing. Through the softening of your spirit. Through the act of letting go of what no longer aligns. There is a kind of wealth that only flows to those who have made peace with the past. Those who have forgiven quietly, cried privately, and kept going with faith even when it looked like nothing was happening. And I want to remind you of something simple, yet powerful. You've already done the hard part. You've endured the uncertainty, the heartbreak, the waiting. You've sown in silence. As one of my favorite spiritual teachings says, those who sow in tears will reap in joy. That is the rhythm of divine timing. And that is exactly what this moment is for. So let yourself receive. Let yourself believe that goodness doesn't have to come at a cost. You don't have to sacrifice your peace or your integrity to gain something valuable. The universe is not testing you. It's rewarding your endurance. And if you've ever needed permission to believe in a miracle, let this be it. And now I ask you, Libra, what are you ready to receive between December 22nd and 25th? What if your life could shift without effort, just by you staying open, grounded, and ready to say yes? Let the world know you're ready. Comment below, may luck find me now. Because when you name your readiness, the energy moves even faster. This isn't just a reading, it's a confirmation. The breakthrough you stopped searching for is finally searching for you. Sometimes, what our heart truly craves is not closure, but clarity. And Libra, this is where your story begins to shift into something deeper. The presence of the Page of Cups in your reading is not a coincidence, it's a gentle knock at the door of your emotional world. It signals that someone in your energetic field is feeling the urge to speak, to confess, to finally bring light to something that has remained hidden or unspoken for too long. This isn't just about romance. It's about any soul tie that has felt unresolved, unfinished, or left in silence. Whether it's a former partner, a close friend, or even a family member, someone is carrying unspoken words that are ready to be released. What makes this moment so important is not just that they want to speak, but that you are ready to hear. You may not have even realized how long your heart has been waiting for truth, for honesty, for someone to simply acknowledge the depth of what was once shared. Emotional clarity is a form of healing. It doesn't always fix what happened, but it frees you from the weight of the unknown. It allows you to breathe deeper, sleep softer, and move forward with grace. And here's what I want you to remember: you don't owe anyone your forgiveness. That's not what this is about. Forgiveness is a sacred act that only makes sense when it honors your own healing first. What you are being invited into is emotional release, not obligation. If someone comes forward with a truth you weren't expecting, you are allowed to listen with compassion and still choose distance. Or, you may find that what is said lands exactly where it needed to, bringing not only peace but closure that has eluded you for years. In my work with thousands of souls walking through the complexities of love, grief, and reconciliation, I've seen this moment unfold again and again. The quiet message that arrives months or years later, the apology that once seemed impossible, the unexpected confession that says, "I didn't know how to say it then, but I do now." And even if the words are imperfect, they often carry a deeper truth than we expected. They were thinking of you too. They didn't forget. And whether or not it changes anything in your external world, it often shifts everything internally. There's a principle I often share, one that bridges psychology and the spiritual path. Naming the truth breaks the spell of confusion. When someone speaks what was hidden, it no longer has power over you. You don't have to wonder what was real. You don't have to replay the same conversations in your head at 2 a.m. Your nervous system begins to settle. The stories soften. You start to return to yourself. You may even find yourself surprised at how ready you are, not necessarily to reconnect, but to release the past with grace. Emotional healing is not about reopening old doors, it's about walking forward without the weight of what was never said. And if this message is stirring something in your spirit right now, that's no accident. There may be someone in your life right now or from your past who feels this pull too. Their soul may be preparing to speak, whether with words, actions, or energy. And your soul is already listening. So let me ask you gently, is there someone you've been waiting to hear from? Someone whose silence has echoed a little too loudly in your life? If so, take a quiet moment to comment below and say, "I am ready to hear the truth." Sometimes, that single act of willingness is all it takes to open the door to healing. Not just between you and them, but within yourself. Because when the truth finally meets a heart that is ready, peace always follows. Love doesn't always arrive with fireworks and fanfare. Often, it comes quietly, like the soft morning light slipping through the curtains, calm, patient, and exactly on time. And Libra, if you've been feeling like your heart has been waiting without even knowing what it's waiting for, this is the moment to listen. The energy around you now is deeply aligned with emotional truth, and the High Priestess reminds us that you've always known. Even before the facts aligned, even before the timing made sense, your soul felt who truly saw you and who didn't. And now, what once lived only in your intuition is preparing to manifest in your reality. There are two possibilities emerging in your current timeline, and both deserve attention. The first is the presence of someone new. Not flashy. Not overwhelming. But gentle, grounded, and safe. This person doesn't come to rescue or possess you. They come with space. With respect. They don't ask you to shrink or twist to fit their idea of love. Instead, they love you exactly as you are, and that's what makes the experience feel like coming home. There's no chase, no confusion. Just resonance. The second possibility is a return not of the past as it was, but of someone who has done the work, who has moved through their own shadow and is now ready to meet you where you are, not where you left off. People can change. Hearts can evolve. But this type of return is only real when it's built on growth, accountability, and a shared willingness to do love differently this time. If this is the path you feel opening, trust your discernment. Don't rush in. Let the energy speak before the words do. You'll feel it in your nervous system before your mind can name it. At the heart of this chapter lies a truth many forget: the quality of love we attract is a mirror of the love we offer ourselves. When you begin to treat yourself with gentleness, when you stop abandoning yourself for others' approval, the universe responds by sending you someone who doesn't ask you to self-abandon. That's how the law of attraction truly works, not as a wish list, but as a reflection of alignment. You may have been through relationships that taught you the hard way what love isn't. Maybe you were made to feel too much, too sensitive, too complicated. But those experiences weren't punishment. They were preparation. Because now, your spirit won't settle for almost. You're no longer available for half-hearted effort or conditional affection. You're learning to sit with yourself in love, and that inner peace is making room for a partnership that honors you at every level, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. I've witnessed this in so many lives. The moment someone stops chasing love and starts choosing themselves, something changes. The air becomes lighter. Old patterns break. And suddenly, what once felt so far away begins to move toward you. Sometimes, it's a message. Sometimes, it's a moment of eye contact that feels like déjà vu. Sometimes, it's silence, but a silence that feels sacred, not empty. So I'll ask you now, gently and with care, what do you feel arriving in your life? Is it someone new, calm and steady? Or is it a healed version of someone you once knew? Or perhaps it's the deeper love you're now cultivating with yourself. Whatever form it takes, you'll know it's real because it won't ask you to become less of yourself to be loved. It will expand you. It will lift you. And most of all, it will feel like healing. If you feel this energy rising, I invite you to anchor it by declaring it aloud in the comments. I choose healing love. Because once you choose it, the universe begins arranging everything to meet you there. Quietly. Powerfully. Right on time. Change rarely begins with action. It begins with intention. And Libra, this moment in your journey isn't asking you to push harder or do more, it's asking you to clear space. Not just physically, but emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. Because what's ahead of you cannot fit into a life that's still cluttered with what's behind you. As you felt the buildup of emotional momentum from the previous chapters, the truth coming to light, the return of love, the emergence of something financially abundant, there's one more essential step before it can all fully land: release. Energetically speaking, everything in the universe operates in balance. You cannot receive what is new while still holding on to what is old. That's why rituals of release aren't just symbolic, they are powerfully functional. They clear your energy field, raise your vibration, and signal to the universe that you are ready for the next chapter. Something as simple as cleaning a neglected corner of your home, lighting a stick of incense, or writing down old fears or regrets and burning the paper in a safe space can act as a declaration: I'm done holding on to what no longer serves me. And the moment you mean it, something begins to shift. There's an energy principle often used in both feng shui and quantum manifestation: what you make room for, will find you. Your home is not just where you live, it's an extension of your emotional and energetic body. When your space is heavy, dusty, disorganized, it mirrors inner resistance. When your home is clear, calm, and loved, your field becomes receptive. That's why this moment, this golden window between December 22nd and 25 is not just a lucky season astrologically, it's also a powerful energetic reset. And the more space you make, the more life can pour into it. You can use your own words or try this simple affirmation during your ritual work. I release the past. I open my heart to the miracle that's meant for me. Say it out loud. Whisper it while lighting a candle. Breathe it into the corners of your home while letting go of clutter or emotional residue. The beauty of this phrase lies in its truth. You are not pretending to be ready, you are choosing to be. In therapeutic self-help, we often talk about emotional looping. When the mind keeps replaying a hurt, a memory, or a disappointment, it's often trying to resolve what was never closed. But closure doesn't always come from others. Sometimes, closure is what you give yourself when you decide to stop reopening the same chapter. You don't have to keep returning to a page just because it held a few beautiful lines. The story that's meant to be written now needs blank space, a fresh pen, and a version of you that's lighter. Even something simple, like intentionally wearing high vibration colors during this window, can amplify your magnetism. Consider soft mint green to invite renewal, shimmering white or silver to welcome clarity, or blush pink to soften your energy field and attract heart-centered connections. These aren't just aesthetic choices, they are energetic tools. Colors hold frequency. When worn with intention, they communicate with the unseen forces working in your favor. As you move through these days, I invite you to not just tidy your home, but tend to your inner sanctuary as well. Let go of the self-blame. Let go of the need to understand every detail of the past. Let go of the idea that you have to be perfect to be ready. You are already enough. You are already aligned. And you are already surrounded by the evidence that transformation is not only possible, it's underway. So as you prepare to walk through this door into a brighter season of your life, ask yourself gently, what am I willing to release, right here and right now, so that I can be free? And if you're ready, say it in the comments below. I release the past. I open my heart to what's next. Let the ritual begin. Let the miracle in. Libra, you've come so far, not because life made it easy for you, but because you chose not to give up, even when it was hard. You carried yourself through silence, through moments when the answers never came, through chapters that didn't end with the closure you deserved. And yet, here you are. Not broken, but wiser. Not bitter, but more open than ever before. That alone is a miracle in motion. You see, this isn't just about what's coming to you, it's about who you are becoming in the process. The Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the High Priestess. They are not just cards, they are mirrors. They reflect a truth that maybe you've been afraid to say out loud. You are not just the receiver of blessings, you are the co-creator of them. Your energy, your decisions, your willingness to stay tender when life asked you to harden. All of that has rewritten your path. And now, the universe responds. So yes, a financial gift may find you. Yes, a heartfelt confession may reach you. And yes, a healing love may step forward. But don't be surprised when it all comes at once, because you've already made space for it. You've done the internal work. You've weeded the garden. And now, the flowers are ready to bloom. The truth is, the universe doesn't give us what we beg for. It gives us what we're ready to hold. And the fact that you're still here, still listening, still showing up for your healing, proves that readiness lives inside you now. You are ready not just to receive, but to own the next chapter of your story with clarity, with power, and with peace. So take a moment to breathe that in. Let yourself really feel it. This isn't a fantasy. This is alignment. This is what it feels like when all parts of you begin to agree, yes, I am worthy. Yes, I am ready. And as you feel that truth settle into your chest, let me ask you something gentle but important. What would change if you lived today like your miracle is already on its way? What would you do differently if you knew the blessing was guaranteed? Maybe it's time to stop doubting and start deciding. To stop waiting and start welcoming. Because your story is already shifting. The next 72 hours carry a frequency of transformation, one that doesn't just knock on your door, but waits for you to answer with faith. Will you? If your heart whispered yes, then I invite you to claim it right here, right now. Declare your alignment in the comments below. Write, I'm ready for my $1 million surprise. Or, I open my heart to divine truth and love. Or simply, I welcome the truth and abundance that are mine. Because every word you write becomes a thread in the tapestry of your next chapter. And if this message stirred something and you didn't keep it to yourself, like the video. Subscribe to Zodiac Whisper Tarot so you never miss another portal of insight like this one. And please, share this message with someone who might be silently hoping to hear these exact words. You never know whose life might shift just because you pressed send. Thank you for your presence here today. It means more than you know. And may the path ahead unfold with the perfect combination of grace, truth, and wonder. You've earned it, Libra. Now go receive it with open hands, open heart, and open faith.